Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, from DCTcentre, couch therapist, and Annette O'Donnell, author, artist, coach, manifestor, and CBT expert, and in all, extraordinary woman. Hello, Annette.
Hello, Daiga. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just before we start, I want to remind our viewers that we're both taking in clients. And Annette will tell all about that herself. And from my side, I'm taking in couch therapy clients. And if you are stressed, if you are in fear, if you are having an anxiety, or if you really want to change your life for better, please contact me. At the moment, I'm working with what you can afford basis. So I try to help every single person who asks my help. Okay, Annette, now all is yours.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Daiga, and hi, everybody who's watching. My name is Annette O'Donnell, and I'm here just to share with you the most amazing, magical, and miraculous life that I've been leading up until now. Everyone has a history, everyone has a childhood, but not so many people have major life-threatening, life-changing events that appear horrific, absolutely horrific at the time. But when I learned to sit back and think what the message was in those events, my life has been led and changed and just directed by something far greater than us. So I'll start at the beginning. I am in my 50s now, but in my 20s, I was a TV producer, fantastic career, working in London, earning lots of money, traveling the world, helping TV programs that were focusing on arts and theatre and creativity. I was the production manager, so I was the admin person organising the crews, directors, all that kind of stuff. So you can imagine, I was late 20s, my life was amazing, I was earning good money, and my career was going woo, upwards. Then I had just had a baby. I was 29. I was on my honeymoon in Israel, and it was about 3 or 4 days into my honeymoon, I realised I couldn't taste my food. I said to my husband, wow, we're in such a beautiful place, beautiful food, but I can't taste it. And he was saying, oh, I'm sure you're fine, we'll check it out when we get home. So at home in the UK, I saw a GP, and she said to me, oh, you just had a baby. You know, you're feeding her, you're run down, it's probably an ulcer, don't worry. So I went home and thought, well, it's only an ulcer. I'm sure my taste buds will return. But by complete chance or synchronicity or by the powers that be, the following week I had an appointment at my dentist. It was a random appointment. So on the morning of it, I thought, I'm not sure I can be bothered today. I've got a baby, I've got to cross London. It's a hot summer's day, I'm not sure I want to go. But something told me, Joe. So I went for that appointment, and in about 5 minutes, the dentist said, what's that on your tongue? And I said, well, it's only an ulcer. My doctor said it's an ulcer, so that's what it is. And he said, no, that's not an ulcer. That looks very suspicious. We need to do a biopsy here and now. And I was like, what do you mean? How do you do a biopsy on a tongue? That is crazy. And he said, well, we have to do that because I'm very concerned it might be something serious. So obviously I said, okay, have a procedure, which was awful, very painful. I don't know if you can imagine having your tongue sliced. I had an anaesthetic, but it was very painful. Anyway, within a few days, I was called back in urgently, and they said, oh, we're really sorry to tell you that that tiny ulcer that you can see is the end of a tumour, and that tumour is going through your tongue, down your throat, and up into your head. I was 29. I had a new baby. My life was amazing. Can you imagine how I felt? I heard that. I was on my own. I got that news. My husband wasn't with me. So my whole world just crashed. I didn't know anybody. I don't know if you do, Daiga. Have you met anybody with mouth cancer before? Head cancer? I was so, what do you mean? How can that happen? Anyway, so I was rushed in, had emergency surgery, and in the surgery, before the surgery, I was told that they weren't sure how bad it was until we got in there and opened up all the bits and bobs. But be prepared. Do I give permission to have half my tongue removed to live, if it comes to that? So I just got goosebumps even remembering that, so long ago, but I still feel goosebumps. So in that moment, my husband and I sat down and thought, well, if it's that bad in there, will we say yes? So I said to my consultant, you've got daughters, young daughters. If I was one of them, what would you advise your daughter? Because I just don't know what to say. I have no idea. And she said, well, I'm only a consultant, but I would advise her to have it because radiotherapy as a treatment might not be enough, and we can't risk that because it's serious. So big breath, I say, okay. So I woke up, half my tongue was gone. I spent a few months obviously learning to breathe, to swallow, to talk, because when you have that drastic surgery, Daiga, your whole head is opened up, and they do all the surgery. And I mean, I know you can't believe it looking at me now, but my face is so, what's the word, symmetrical. But when I had my surgery, that side was up there and this side was down here. It was very, yeah, it was very drastic. It was life-saving, but very life-changing as well. So if you imagine, I had that whole thing of, first of all, am I going to die? Will I get it all out? I've got a baby, I can't talk to her. I can't make a noise. My mouth is completely, so I have this baby, my daughter, my beautiful daughter. So I had lots to face. Excuse the pun, lots to face, but you know what I mean. I had lots to come to terms with. So my TV career, my beautiful life seems to be disappearing. I wasn't sure if I was going to live. My baby was here, and I had a long road ahead of me recovery. I had to learn to talk again, to swallow, to eat, and to breathe. You don't realise how important your mouth is in breathing. When you do meditation, I'm sure you know that you breathe into your nose and you breathe out through your mouth. But for me, back then, that would never have been possible. I had a tracheostomy in my throat here for some time. I was breathing through a tube for a long time. So anyway, not to dwell on that, because that is the old story, and my new story is obviously a result from that life experience. So it wasn't long after that I was recovering, learning to speak, learning to feel confident, learning to be seen, because I felt so ugly. Oh my God, I had stitches around here and my arm, completely butchered, to be fair. And then obviously I was having issues with my marriage. I think when someone's that ill, it's very hard for the partner, the husband, to cope. And if that person isn't in a place of calm and stability themselves, they're not going to be very good in supporting a wife that's on this journey. So it wasn't long before we were having problems in our marriage, and I'm divorced now, 13 years. But at the time, it was quite horrific to lose my health and to lose my husband. I could see it happening. So I was in my house at some point a few years later when I was recovering. It took about 5 years to get my faculties back where they should be. I was in my room and my daughter wasn't very well. She was 13. She had pneumonia. She was in my bed sleeping. And I really thought, oh my gosh, I'm on my own, haven't got much support anywhere. My guardian, who had brought me up, I didn't have parents, I had a guardian. So she passed away recently as well. So I was in a place where everything went wrong. And then suddenly that night in my room, this is really hard to believe, but trust me, it's incredible. I'm not religious. I've never believed in God or anything like that. But this bright light came into my bedroom. It lit the room up so bright, brighter than a flash cam of a camera, brighter than a light, brighter than a flame, just so pure, bright white light. I sat on my bed, my daughter was asleep, she didn't see or notice anything. And then I suddenly thought, my God, my body, I feel like I'm being painted with love. Every cell in my body, I sat on my bed, held myself like this and just thought, oh my heart, there's something so magical happening to me at the moment, for me and to me. I didn't even have to think about it. My heart just opened, my heart chakra opens. I felt the embrace of the most amazing, beautiful, loving presence, which I now know to be divine, because my whole life path after that, which I'll talk to you about, has changed. So back to that room, my body was so protected, so loved, so nurtured. I was in bliss. I can't explain how I felt. So in love with everything. I felt so safe. And I heard this sound, it was like a fan. I was looking around the room thinking, well, I haven't got a window open. Why am I hearing a fan? It's really, really bizarre. My conscious mind was saying, what is that noise? But my heart was saying, don't worry, it's all fine. So I bathed in this light and bathed in the sounds. And then for a few hours, it just drifted away and went. I woke up in the morning and thought, oh my Lord, have I had a breakdown, or was that real? What happened? Have I had a mental breakdown? What did I experience? So I went to the library and looked up awakening experiences and that kind of thing. I thought, look, it was definitely something spiritual. Not that I'm a believer. At the time, I was like, well, it must have been that, because I felt so loved. I found a book, Perfect Time. Somebody else had written about her angel experience, and she said it's amazing how you hear the fan, and that is a symbol to connect you to the thought that their wings are. It's part of the experience. So it wasn't just me, the experience, the light and the sound. Somebody else in the book had done that. I was like, oh my God, it must have been what I thought and what I believed and what I felt, the divine energy, angels coming to me. And then the following few nights after that, I had beautiful, loving dreams. And the main dream was that they were trying to come through from where they are to us here in a process that I was to deliver. And I thought, what do you mean? And because I loved art, my TV program was about art, I loved drawing and painting. They said to me, you, Annette, are going to blindfold yourself. You're going to throw paint onto a white canvas and trust that our energy and our healings can come through upon the canvas through the paint and through your hands. You're going to be our vessel to translate all that energy. I was so excited. I thought, wow, what do you mean blindfolded? So I basically tried it, and my first picture I've done, not one of these, but a different one, has sold since. It's on my website. But I knew straight away that Archangel Raphael was coming through the artwork. There was an image of literally a white angel with wings crossing a canvas with green healing energy and all sorts. So I just knew. So can you imagine how beautiful that whole change in my life and my being and everything came from a horrific life issue? So I realized that there's more hurdles that I've crossed since then in my 30s and my 40s, but the message to anyone watching this video, if you're still here, is sometimes something horrific happens and your life is really altered out of your control, and it's full of fear, and it's full of doubt, and it's full of as you were saying earlier, like anxiety, your mind works overtime and you can't actually process what the hell is happening to you, whether it's a health problem or bankruptcy or divorce or whatever it is. And I'll just promise you that we're being guided at all times. So often there's a message or a gift in the sock. So that's a brief run through of what's happened in the early years of my path to awakening. You can never have met anybody less believing than me. In my 20s, anyone says to me, oh, there's a God, there's an energy, I just laughed so much. But then that happened to me and I just thought, my gosh, there's no way I imagined that it was real. And all these messages came through. One of which was the arts, which I can share my screen at the end of this conversation and show you quickly some art pictures. But the basic idea is that I close my eyes, throw paint on a canvas, and with my hands I move a circular shape to create a portal, because a portal is what the energy wants to come through from the ether, so it comes through the canvas. Many people have asked me to create a picture for them, so I change their energy, and if they're going through something quite challenging, I can bring the right angel energy through my connection with the angels to be in the canvas for them. So people can often ask me for their specific requests and their desire, and they use that for meditation once they're bought it, and once it's in their house, and once it's hanging up on their walls. So I feel so privileged, not to have been ill on my side, but privileged to be chosen to be someone that is a vessel for this energy and this healing. I think many of us, definitely me, have ego problems. I'm not saying I've got a big ego, because I never have had one. I'm a very shy person, but I now understand the ego to be that voice that tells you why you can't do something. So can you imagine, when this first happened to me, I started painting these beautiful artworks, which I'm happy to share pictures with you later. Part of me was saying, oh my God, you can't tell people about that. They won't believe you. Who's going to believe that? Oh my God. My ego was saying, don't be ridiculous. That is special and beautiful, but because I'm trying to share that with somebody else, they won't get that. So for a long time, I did my art in private and didn't tell people, didn't show people. Because my head was saying, you're crazy, it's amazing, but you're crazy, don't get out there, don't be seen. So I spent quite a few years not pushing myself out there to show and share this beautiful energy. Some might say it's selfish, but I think I was just so frightened of being mocked or people saying, what do you mean, angel energy? But in the years leading up to now, I've met so many people in my path. I think when you're on the spiritual path, people launch you, make new friends, and suddenly you find your new friend is an angel card reader, and then you meet somebody else, and they are a music person, because as you can see here, I've got a harp. This is a healing harp. In one of my dreams, I was told that alongside my art, I'd be incorporating the frequency and vibration of healing through music as well as through visual arts. So I was asked to just open my mind to receive messages or connections about a therapy, a healing harp. And when I googled it, I saw these massive harps on the internet, thousands of pounds. I thought, I can't learn to play that. That's ridiculous. That's just beautiful, but I can't do that. I'm sure it's not my path to be a harpist. But then I, synchronicity, saw someone on Facebook who was channeling angels and their frequencies through therapy harps, and this is one of them. So I bought this harp because obviously I was nice to find it, saw it and bought it. And the actual frequencies of the 33 strings that I tune, takes me a long time to tune them, they are embedded with the right frequency to connect with the energy that I'm seeking for the client or for the person that I'm with.
Maybe you play something
I
to
will.
hear the sound of it.
While I was talking about the heart, before we move on, I can play, if you can see this heart here, for those that are interested to find out more. It has a hole here, and it has a very long slat here. The idea is, if I help you put it on your body there, for self-healing. If you imagine what that slot there is facing, it's facing my thymus and my throat chakra, and the long bit down the side of the instrument is all your chakras. It's your throat, your heart, your solar, your sacral, your root. So this is a therapy heart, but ideally you lay on someone's body like that, and then as a therapist I would hum in joust and find the blockage in your body, and then tune in to my guides, my angels, and intuitively, mostly eyes closed, play the strings that I feel called to play. And then they obviously are around the client, the energy, the aura absorbs the frequencies, the cells, the body, everything just shifts. And then I do a sort of balance at the end, and they can see that their chakras are free to flow and not blocked. And obviously the energy of the chakras, is the root chakras blocked. That's all about feeling secure and feeling safe. So there's something about that client that's not feeling safe. So I work that out. But that's just part of the heart. So would you like me to play a few?
Maybe you can tune, if you can tune through the computers from distance, maybe you can tune in my energy and you can manage.
Yes. I'm going to just
manage to play something what I need to tune in and
I have a
everything.
great idea. I'm using my Daiga. This is another interview about Daiga, how I've got this Daiga, but that's another day. This is a very magical, it's actually from the angels, which I can explain another time. It's a very pure, you don't buy this in a shop. I was sent, given, I was shown this at a time of high frequency energy, and this actualized me heart by anyway, that's the only one that I've got. So this is so pure. So I'll tune to you, Daiga. Just feel what chakra could need some balancing. Okay, it's quite quick. It shows me what the flows like in each chakra. Now from this, at this moment, in this moment, it might change in 5 minutes, but in this moment, your throat chakra has a slight sluggishness about it. It's not spinning fully. So your throat chakra is where I'm going to send some healing tones. That may be related to a physical sore throat, cough, whatever, or it might be something in your life where obviously you are speaking the truth, but you're not speaking out loud. You're not voicing an opinion about something or someone or an issue. So for me, I could dig deeper, but for now, we'll just play some throat chakra tunes. But that's what I'm picking up from you, Daiga. So when you hear these notes that are specifically for you, if you try and breathe, hear them and breathe them into the throat, visualize that, and then it will clear. How you feeling?
Lovely. I love these sounds. I really feel so relaxed. So like, I love those sounds. They definitely resonate with me.
They penetrate, you can feel them, can't you? Just, it's more goosebumps, it's deeper than that, isn't it? It's a deeper level of emotion. So obviously that can be a whole new session at some point with someone. I have music in my life now. I did the angels, which is art, but music as well, because we all know that frequency is everywhere. Frequency in the computer, in the table, in everything, in music, in the air, in everything. So I'm feeling drawn to, and I'm not listening to my ego that's saying, oh my gosh, you know, how can that be? How can that work? Because I know it works. The angels tell me it works, and it does work. I think our ego is formed and created from our experiences. And I came through quite a horrific childhood. There's lots of lessons to be learned there. But I think I ended up being a young girl, young teenager, living in fright and fear. So those people on the call that might have any kind of experience in their life that's made them feel fright and fear, they'll know what I mean. It does affect your self-worth, your self-confidence, what you think you can do, what you're available for, and all that.
I think it actually affects absolutely everything. As soon you have fear, as soon you have an anxiety, it affects everything, every part of your life.
It's not even just a physical fear or effects, it can be completely in your thinking, in what you're creating, because we all manifest from our thoughts. So imagine how messed up your thoughts are from a challenge in your life, young, middle, or old. That's affecting your ability to bring stuff in and even be open to new. So that's where I'm coming from, really, that, you know, childhood was quite shocking. Didn't have parents. I was put into a guardianship. All that stuff happened. But I've also had a real passion for children. Not just because my childhood was a bit of a challenge, but because generally I feel I'm here to help children. So going back to my throat cancer, once I recovered, slowly, 5 years of surgeries and all sorts, I thought, I've lost my TV career. I have no career. I need to try and find something I can do that fits with my life, that I can cope with. And then I had this amazing idea come to me one evening on my computer back in 2013, long time ago. And it was to create a way of giving children, because I'm passionate for children, a visual voice. This is a visual voice which I was channeled and given, which I still do to help people. But this dream, I've had my cancer, I was recovering, I was starting to talk properly, but not very well. But the message was, create a visual voice for children. I was like, oh my God, how amazing would that be? And it was to set up an academy. So I started with about 6 children in my front room, teaching them how to draw art, how to draw tree, how to mix colours, how to make hay, how to all sorts. I love that. And the 6 children grew into 12 children, and then there's no room in my house anymore. I was on my own, my husband had left by then, but I still had no room for 12 children in my front room. So I hired a hall. I hired a hall around the corner, and then in 6 months, I had 200 children attending over a week in different classes, like 20 days, 20, 40, 60 days, in different venues. And Arts for Academy, which is it still runs, I still teach. I was there yesterday doing an art class for children. It's 18 years now, Daiga. 18 years I've been teaching art to children. But that was an impulsive message to set up a visual voice for children. So my Arts for Academy has been running for 18 years. I'm a head tutor. In the last couple of years, it's been very quiet with world events, obviously, but I'm back up and running slowly now because my whole life purpose, who knows what our life purpose is, but if I just say yes to all the things that make me happy and light me up, I know that that's part of my purpose. And it involves passionate about art, passionate about music, passionate about children, and passionate about helping people who are stuck in an illness or a drama to tap into their subconscious minds and help their mind create an outcome they want. So that's where my coaching phrase comes in, because that's what I do these days. But I think that's probably another YouTube interview without going on too much now. That's the next one we'll do, Daiga, because there's a lot to tell you about that. Lots of magic, synchronicities, crazy stuff that you think, no way, but that happened, and that led me to the coaching. So obviously I'm very thankful to be on here and just share with people that there's always hope for happiness and recovery, whatever's going on, there's always hope. And when we learn the tools and say yes to messages, people might have a thought from nowhere and just count it, thinking, well, that's mad, I'm not doing that. But if I'd done that, I'd never have started painting these pictures. I never would have started a whole beautiful service to humanity of bringing through healing, love, and art for everyone here. I think in this day and age, there's a lot of fear for various reasons. And we're here, Daiga, aren't we? We're here to help people. We're here to help people who will reach out and say, I'm freaking out, I'm stuck, I'm in trouble. My diagnosis, my MRI, my whatever it is, because I don't know if you know, Daiga, I've had the head cancer, and on the next episode that we film, I'll explain about what happens after that, which was 2 more life-changing diagnoses, not related to that. That's what I'll say. That's round one.
We still have another half an hour.
Oh, have a half an hour? Okay, we can carry on then.
Yes, you can still get on.
Oh, yeah, I might end up doing all of it. So the head cancer, the children's art school was created, has been running in the background the whole way through. It was about 3 years after I recovered. Art school was running, my life was back on track-ish, as a disabled person trying to create communication and art with people. I woke up one morning about 3 or 4 years later, and I was blind in this side of my face. I couldn't see, I was blind. I was obviously saying, oh my horse, it might be the cancer come back because it was in your mouth, it might be your eye. That's what I thought. Oh my horse, maybe it's come back. So I saw my consultant, we had all the scans and all the checkups, and he says, you know what, it's nothing to do with that, it's not that, it's all, we need to do a spinal fluid sample from your spine, and we'll analyse from there what's happening to your optic nerve and your whatever. So I thought, wow, that's great, it's not cancer. Nothing can be worse than that, it's fine. So after a few months of investigations and tests and MRIs and this and that, it came back that I had multiple sclerosis, MS. And for those on the call here, anyone that knows anyone with that, often their first experience can be blindness, optic neuritis, they call it. That's often the first symptom of an MS diagnosis. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, that's terrible, but I'm not going to die from it. It's not a cancer. Long term, it might stop my life, but it's okay. Anyway, the blindness lasted about 8 weeks, so it wasn't too bad. For 8 weeks, I wore a patch here, just to try and get my balance right and get my mind focused on coping with it, really, rather than being in fear of it and being upset, but coping with it. So that happened, and I was so desperate to find out why I've got MS now. Why? What's the message in that then? If the cancer message was about doing artworks, visual voice of people, what's the MS about? So I've spent a lot of time trying to think about what that had been, trying to wait for messages. And my aunt said, I'm really sorry about your MS. She said, I'm really sorry about your MS. The cancer man said that. Because we think you might have contracted that through your blood transfusions. Because you have the head cancer, you had 4 or 5 blood transfusions, and we weren't screening the blood for that kind of illness, MS, ME, whatever. So I had to spend time just, weighing up in my mind how I felt about that. But I'd been given the MS. It wasn't hereditary. It wasn't my diet, whatever. It was probably through transfusion. So I spent a lot of time just adjusting to that and realizing that, every time you have something happen to you, it gives you permission to be able to reach out to people that have that and understand them and know where they're coming from. So a lot of my clients in the early days came to me for art who had MS and all sorts of reasons, but adults, that is, adults came to me. But it was so nice to give people the gift of time to be in a space where they can just focus on themselves and be in the moment and not worry about the health, the problems, this, that, and the other. So, yeah, the MS came along. So that was 2 things I had either. By the age of 34, I had survived this. Always hoping it wouldn't come back, because I can't tell you for the first few years, they say do this, do that, but I can't guarantee it won't come back. But I didn't really have much fear about it coming back, because I felt with the angels and all the artwork I was doing, there's a reason why I'm alive, is to do more of this and be a vessel. I knew that I couldn't be destined to die young. What would this be about? What's all this about? It's a gift, isn't it? So we did that. I think it's with the MS societies and started raising money for them and what kind of stuff, and changed my diet. I got on with my life, really. Made lots of friends and tried to help and coach them. And I was okay. So I thought about, I don't know how many years that was 30, over 10 years or so. I was fine, brilliant, 15 years even. Brilliant life, business picked up, arts all got busy, swimming, artwork. I was hoping for the MS. I was taking medication, injecting. I felt quite poorly doing that. I didn't want to do it forever. I felt something in these injections made me feel worse. I had migraines and all that kind of stuff. And then bring it up to about 4 years ago, I had, that's not 4 years, I can't do my maths. It was my 50th birthday mammogram, because I do it at 50 in the UK, they offer you a mammogram, the first one at 50. It was about a year and a bit late though, because I wasn't on the list first. So I went to have my first mammogram at that 51, 52. And I just sailed in there thinking, yeah, that's easy. First mammogram, no problem. I came home, thought, great, no problems. And then a letter saying, yeah, you're all clear, it's no problems. It's just a standard mammogram, you're fine. And then I went on holiday, went away with my daughter to Cuba, and a lovely Christmas holiday, and came back to a letter from the breast clinic saying, we're really sorry, but we misread your mammogram. There's something suspicious on there, can come back. I thought, there's no way I'm being sampled. There can't be. I thought, hey, if I've been MS, there's no way. I must be fine. So I went in there, spoke some work, bowls in, said, yeah, right, okay, what's the problem? And again, we're really sorry to tell you, we have to do a biopsy here and now, because your mammogram is saying, whatever it's saying. There was no lump. I didn't have a breast lump, so it wasn't breast cancer, I didn't have a lump. They found a mass of cancer cells on my chest plate. So I would never have found it. I mean, they even said to me, without this mammogram, you'd never found that, because it's not a lump, it's a mass. So that was the latest recent drama of having that done. So I had big appointments with all the oncologists, all the surgeons. They took the sample. and it came back as a very high oncotype score, which means it's a very potent, dangerous type of hormonal tumour. If you have a low number, they recommend a bit of surgery and that's it. If you have a middle number, it's surgery and radiotherapy will be fine. And if it's my number, it's surgery, it's radiotherapy, it's chemotherapy, it's the whole package. So it was at Christmas time 4 years ago, and I have this gut feeling. I thought, I cannot have chemotherapy. I've got multiple sclerosis, so my immune system's a bit weak at the moment. It will be. I just had this massive strong feeling that I wouldn't survive chemo. So I looked into it, researched it, and thought, yeah, I've researched chemo. For some people, it's life-saving. They have to have it. But for me, I just knew that with my complex health issues, as they were, I couldn't say yes. So my consultant said, well, I actually agree with you. It's your choice. But if I was you, I'd probably do the same. So on the internet, you know, what other stuff would I do that's not chemo that can help my cancer? I found this charity in America called the Realm of Caring. It's in America, and they specialize in people with complex health issues. That's me, especially cancer, breast cancers as well. How they can recommend, support, and advise you on cannabis oil. I thought at the time, oh, I don't think I want to be on cannabis. That's the last thing I need, to be high off my face on drugs. That's not very helpful. But when I spoke to them, I realized that the CBD oil comes in a bottle. I haven't got one here, but a bottle that you can put a few drops under your tongue, and it's hemp based. So there's no high, it's just health. And when you take CBD, the plant oil, the hemp oil, there's in your system through your tongue, under your tongue. And it goes into and activates your endocannabinoid system receptors. So the bottom line is, whatever is out of balance in your body, the oil is scientifically proven to help adjust and create homeostasis. So I read and I knew from their site that a lot of people with cancer who wanted to swerve or avoid chemo tried it. All my friends, all my family thought I was nuts. Oh my gosh, you've got chemo. I said, well, I know, I really appreciate your concern and your love for me, but I cannot have that. I'm going to try this CBD oil. And of course, 4 years ago, they're like, oh, what? That's drugs. You can't have drugs. You can't do that. Mum, you can't do that. I said, no, I'm going to try it because I've seen beautiful stories on Facebook from people that have had the oil and recover from, you know, fits and cancer and Parkinson's and all sorts of issues. So I knew it wasn't just this charity that I was talking to. I knew it was worldwide. People were seeing amazing results with their mental health, their anxiety, depression. The benefits of this oil are just beyond belief. It's anything and everything. Anything and everything is helps with this oil. So I ordered it and started taking it before my surgery. I had a lumpectomy. There wasn't a lump, but it meant they took the mass out. So they went in the side, took the mass out, which wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I often find with my MS, when I have surgery, sometimes my recovery is slower because my body almost goes into shock, and it takes me a long time to get over the anaesthetic and get my legs back working. So I would say the actual procedure was quite simple, but the recovery was quite hard because I was just very run down, my immune system and everything else. So I started taking the oil about a week before the surgery, and I feel my body getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And every day, every morning, every night, even to today and forever, I will be taking this oil because it keeps your body in full balance and helps your body recover from anything. So I had my surgery, my recovery time, I had my radiotherapy, 30 rounds. Oh my gosh, 30 sessions of radiotherapy. So anybody who's watching this knows about radiotherapy. You have a block booking at the hospital, and 30 was a lot. It was really high dose radiotherapy. I was microwaved completely, just through the breast. And before taking the oil, I didn't feel very tired after it, and I didn't have any burns. Radiotherapy burns you. On my face, I had burns everywhere with the cancer here, but on that, I had no burns. I was thinking, wow, it's a bit itchy, as in hot, but it's not burning. And friends of mine that I'd met there at the hospital having the same, they were covered in red burns and blisters. I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's the oil. That oil is helping my cells create balance and health throughout this traumatic microwaving in radiotherapy. So I had my 30 rounds, no burning, just a bit tired, but not too tired, Daiga, because I managed to come back from the hospital after radiotherapy and go straight to work and deliver an art class. So I was still, I had it and went and did some work, because I found that when I was with children and carrying on with my routine, I felt so much well and healthier, and I had more chance of recovery because I just love life. And when you love life, there's no point giving up, surrendering, and being not open to everything that makes you feel joyful. So I found that I had my radiotherapy and went to work and did an hour art class for children. That was my healing. It really felt like a healing at the time, but the parents are paying me. So I was earning money and being healed. That's where I was at with that. I have a radiotherapy. And after about 2 or 3 months of radiotherapy, they call you in and say, okay, surgery went great. The radiotherapy, effective. Now you have to have the chemo. I was like, oh, I don't have to have anything. I'm deciding, for all my research, I'm not being ignorant, I'm not being foolish, I'm not being silly, I'm not being in denial. I wasn't in denial. I said, I've researched and found alternative therapy ways of myself completing my healing without the chemotherapy. It might be, I was talking about music and about Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, so I've always been Reikiing myself most evenings anyway, but I knew the heart chakra was all about breast cancer. I knew the associations with how you can help heal it. But telling a consultant at hospital that, can you imagine his face? He was like, what? What are you talking about? What? Music? What? Chakras? So I said, well, just believe me, I say that my life path has been so challenging, but so beautiful and magical. I've been given such amazing insights and knowledge through my recovery from all these things that have happened to me. So I know that I don't have to have chemotherapy, because I'm choosing to trust in all the information I found, all the healing modalities. There are many of them that I used, but the CBD oil, to have no burns is almost unheard of. I mean, they recommend you put beeswax oil on there and help protect your skin, but I didn't do that. I took the oil in my mouth every night, every morning, and had that. So I swerved it, put on my oil, mostly chemo. I had my checkups, my 1 month mammogram, and I don't really like mammograms, to be fair, as a process. They're very painful and very intrusive, but it saved my life. At the end of the day, without that mammogram, I never would have found that cancer. So I'm happy about the mammograms. Everyone I had was clear. And about 2 or 3 months ago, I had my annual checkup with my consultant, the breast surgeon, and she called me in. And I know I'm clear, I know I'm fine, because I have special connection with the angels. I just know how to heal myself and how to be positive, and all my protocols, diet, all sorts of things have helped. And she said, right, okay. And she paused for quite a while, and I was like, yeah. And she said, you're the only patient that turned down chemo. And I said, yeah, I know, because I said, no, don't you know why? So you're the only one that's had chemo, and you're the only one that hasn't had complications. You're all clear, 4 years, all clear. There's not a sign. You're absolutely clear. And when you hear that, oh, I knew that. We know in our hearts what our truth is, but when you hear someone confirm it, I was just, oh. To have listened to the guidance that I felt about the plant oil, the charities, actually to be open and not let that ego say, oh, you seem to get told by a consultant, they're the experts, you're not. I mean, that's the ego mind, isn't it? And it's your family sometimes, depends who you live with. But yeah, so that has been such a beautiful thing to share with people, that wherever the threat, whatever the illness, whatever the diagnosis, whatever your issue, there's also a message in there and some learning. I'm since now become a CBD expert because I am an ambassador, an absolute ambassador for this oil working. You couldn't really have anybody else more poorly than me. And with that oil, I'm back to vibrant health. And you will not believe this. I had my MS, not my MS, never say my, I had the MS, hatched up, when was it? 10 months ago, in the middle of COVID, I went and had it. And they did a brain scan. They checked my brain scan for lesions every few years. And over the last years, it's got worse and worse and worse before all this has been revealed to me. So I have quite a few lesions in the brain, and they themselves can cause problems. I had a stroke in the middle of all that from a lesion, which is nothing compared to the other stuff. So I was in the MS hospital, and they said to me, you've got no lesions at all that are new from the last 2 or 3 years. They said the old lesions are kind of decreasing and just, they're there, they'll always be there. I always have lesions in my brain, but they're very small, they're very reduced and insignificant. They said to me, how come? What have you been doing? You have no lesions at all. It's not your pattern of health. I said, well, have you heard about CBD oil? And he says, obviously, as a clinician, oh, we don't advocate, we can't promote that kind of oil. I said, oh, yeah, of course, I'm sure you're aware of it and you can't promote it or even encourage it. But I took responsibility, I found it, I'm taking it. So Daiga not only has the CBD oil, heals and cures the cancer, which was very scary. It has also stopped and put in remission the MS that I had. So my health is in abundance at the moment. I feel that I've got all the knowledge and all the understanding about how things work, even from diet. I sought some advice about how to be vegan at the start because of all the associations with diet and toxins in the body. So that's a whole new path. But
I think that one will be what we catch up starting next time on the next show.
That'd be lovely. I could explain my protocols.
Yeah, all about diet and all rest of it, what you need to tell people will be in next show. I think maybe you show some your website where people can find you, show those angel paintings, maybe you can, some of them.
So I do that now before we sign off. I'll share my screen, so bear with me because I'm a bit technophobic. A little bit technophobic.
Welcome to club.
Yay, that works.
Yay, we are there.
I think the angels are here helping us because that was very simple. So this website is basically just a place to be where you can see all the things that I love sharing, helping people with and doing. So the angel arts is what started it all off back in those days where I have that visits. So I do fairs and events, mind, body and spirit events. That's why you can see the top picture there with a table. Every artwork that I've channeled has a message, a presence and a meaning. And because people can't buy or afford the originals, I've always duplicated the images on small canvases, I've got on there, small canvases, hearing fobs, all sorts of things. So you can always buy the image on a different format if you couldn't possibly afford a large art canvas. But I have to say right now, though, the art canvases are so huge that when you stand by them, you feel your inner pulses. So you cannot possibly underestimate the value of standing just by one of these and feeling the energies. It draws you in and heals you and helps you overcome whatever it's meant to help you overcome. So I really recommend, if anyone ever sees me advertise an event, come and see me and just stand by my art. You haven't got to buy it, just come and stand by the art and see how you feel alongside that pulse of healing. So the first one, I can do that, that's it. The Sitting Angel is quite a recent one that came through about 3 years ago, and that's all about contemplation. The message within that one is if you've got some kind of confusion in your clarity, you're not sure where to go, what to do, what's happening, that's the artwork you sit by, because Archangel Uriel brings through clarity, supports and understanding in the artwork. These all have different meanings. I won't go through them all.
One attracts Gabriel. This Gabriel attracts me.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
So Archangel Gabriel came through on that one, and that was all about, at the time, the message I was getting was about the leap of faith. It's believing yourself and putting yourself somewhere uncomfortable and feeling comfortable. So being comfortable with the uncomfortable, that's what that picture is all about. So people bought prints of this and they put it in their office when they're on their stressful career-based issues. They sit there and they feel empowered and they feel supported by it. So maybe there's something in your lifestyle here that needs a bit more. With this energy, it's here to help you feel strengthened by it. Something you're doing or plan to do or want to do. Maybe it's about that.
This one red is beautiful as well.
Sorry?
This one is beautiful as well.
I'll talk about this one. There's two I'll talk about in depth. This one is truly, madly, deeply. It's not necessarily one angel, Archangel Jophiel's present, but it's the whole community of angels within this picture for basically those and everyone to feel loved. It's the energy of love. It's coming from the root chakra. It's root chakra energy, and it's all about feeling secure, safe, and loved. When I painted this one, it was all very red. I thought, wow, it's very red. There's no circle in there. And then I noticed these two little head, well, to me, they look like heads. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is the back of a...
And wing there. And I even see heart.
Yeah,
that heart in front of them. No, lower, little bit lower.
Here.
No. Other side, they looking at heart.
There, yeah.
They looking at heart.
Now the heart, because I don't use paintbrushes in my art, it's never any paintbrushes, it's all hands, it's all energy. Heart, all those hearts are, the paint wouldn't go there, so it stops. It's just beautiful. So it's embedded with love. That heart, I sold that original artwork within about 2 weeks of doing it. And it went, the original went, some bullshit, they were so in love with it. And I sold so many prints of this one, a canvas print, yeah, smaller version. But that's a very powerful picture. And my first picture I ever did, let me tell you about that one. Now this one here. Imagine none of those artworks exist. I haven't done anything. The first day, I got a white canvas the size of this, blindfolded myself and threw paint on. This is the picture that came through. This is the very first artwork. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, I can really feel the movement of the wings. I can feel the energy of an angel. It's probably the most angel-like image I've ever channeled. I'm not sure. This one here is quite interesting, but here it's definitely so that's my first one ever that ever appeared in front of me. And I sat there and turned it around this way, that way, trying to work out where it was, and it ended up being the most beautiful, original, brave effort I made to let go. Because many artists have a picture and so that's not right. I add a bit here, I add a bit there, I paint this, I paint that. But the whole purpose of these channels are there's no ego, there's no interference. It comes through as they want it to. So what you see is them, not me. So this one was my first one. I'm so proud of it. It's very powerful. And it feels to me like it's vibrating. It feels like it's moving the whole time. It's not, but it feels like that. So yeah, I have a whole section on my website, which would you mind if I played you a very quick 3-minute video?
You can do whatever you want.
This is a video that I woke up one day and made it in 15 minutes on my iPhone app. And since I've made that, people in hospitals and places that need this art, you know, children's homes, hospices, have all connected with me because they want to talk about and find out more about how this art can heal people. Watch this video and see what you think. I hope the volume works. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's extremely beautiful. I in tears as well.
Makes me cry.
Me too, Annette. It's extremely beautiful and powerful.
Right, compose myself. I've never made a film like that before in my life. And it was after Sue Stone's team training that I decided that I wanted to reinvestigate more of the art. So this whole video came through to me. I just got my photos and built it in about 15 minutes. But yeah, it makes me cry. I can't believe it. But still, after all this time, I cry. So that's the angel art. I'm not sure how to get back to your speech.
On left corner, I think, on left corner, arrow. Up corner. Upper left corner.
Okay, hang on a sec. Let's just share it.
You want to unshare it?
The arrow says share. I'm not going to share. I'm not going to stop sharing it. That's my.
That's not what you want to share.
I think it's wrong. I have to find it on the time. But yeah, what my ask?
It's extremely powerful and beautiful. Will we show CBD oil as well to viewers, or that will be next time?
Yeah, next time I come on, I will inject about protocol with the CBD, what it is, how it works, and how you use it. Because yeah, it's good for animals and for humans. It's such a big subject. It's probably a whole interview about that. It's amazing, absolutely life-changing.
Okay, that will be it for today. We will pick up next week, Annette, yeah?
Yeah, perfect. Same time?
Same time. Which date it will be? It's 20th. Yes, works for me.
Perfect.
Works for me. It works for you as well?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, then we will come back on the 20th of January. If you like our show, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because many more interviews like this is coming up in the future. So everybody who wants to support my channel and my work, PayPal link is below the channel. So please, I will appreciate every help what you want to share with me. From our hearts to yours. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless. Annette, do you want to say something?
I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. To be able to share and just talk about what's possible is amazing. I love it. So thank you for inviting me. I can't wait to see you next week.
Thank you for coming, Annette. Thank you.